Why do you need blue dye in marshmallows? If you saw a previous post before, I asked what was in the marshmallows that's not in the United States and a store in Italy, the answer is blue dye. Now, that might sound a little strange to a lot of people with this blue dye in marshmallows, but it is, and not in marshmallows made here in Italy. But there's a lot of other dyes, like red dye number 3, yellow dye, lake dyes, a bunch of other things. And the thing that people don't realize is that these dyes are actually petroleum distillate products. So the dyes, the colors actually come from petroleum products, and which is not really surprising, but not. If you think about what petroleum goes into, anything out of plastic, it goes into a lot of different things. We use petroleum for fuel, for energy, for clothing, polymers that are made out of clothing. So we actually use plastic for a lot of things. But you didn't know, well, now maybe you know, that we also use plastic for coloring in foods. Hopefully we'll get that out soon. But over here in Europe, they actually don't do that. They've kind of figured out early on that, hey, putting these dyes in foods, if you've been following me, I point out some M&Ms made here in Italy, and as well I pointed out some Oreos. Yeah, they're not healthy for you, they're bad for you. I probably got a lot of bad kickback from that. But the point is that they don't have a lot of these fake dyes, fake chemicals, fake petroleum products in them that we put in the United States. So the question is, do we have to put these things in our food in the United States? The answer is no. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, who cares? What's the big deal? So the result is it's really hard to show something that causes harm. You have to take it for years and years and years. Tens of thousands of people have to be exposed to, especially if it's in small amounts. And there's the whole thing of microplastics. Microplastics are in water bottles. It's amazing how, I talked about this earlier on, got some junk in my eyes. The air quality here in Milan is not that good. There's actually a lot of microplastics in the air, as well as in water, et cetera, et cetera. But pollution's a big issue. Why would you consume things are bad for you if you don't have to? Anyway, just something I wanted to think about, as a lot of things are changing in our country, a lot of things are being debated and talked about. The question is to ask yourself, why do we put stuff in the food that's process that's manufactured in our industrial food system? And a great thing, even I'll probably talk about this a little bit later, we're actually industrial seed oils. Industrial seed oils are something that's natural, like soy, canola, which is rapeseed oil, but they've been industrialized and turned into toxic chemicals. Anyway, questions we need to start asking ourselves, especially in today's current environment. But the big thing is these adversely affect your health. Consuming petroleum products are inflammatory. They're neurotoxic in some cases. I learned back in 1996 that red dyes would actually make kids with ADHD go bonkers, and yet we proceed to put in a lot of food products. But anyway, things to think about. Start removing these fake things, chemicals, petroleum products, anything that's not real. You should just start removing from your environment, from your food now. It'll have a massive impact on your health. More to come. Take care. Talk to you soon.